stop what you're doing right now, and the first thing you should understand while this COVID situation is happening is how insurance works. The first question you're probably thinking about is, does my existing health policy actually cover a COVID-related health emergency? Well, you'll be happy to know in most cases you will be covered. But make sure to call your agent or the company, the insurance company, and ask them if you're covered or not. Three things you should keep in mind. What is the room cap rent? What is the home treatment if that is available? And what is the waiting period, which should be about 15 to 20 days. However, if you're looking to buy a new insurance just to cover COVID-related expenses, then we'll help you out. You'll be happy to know that our insurance regulator, the IRDAI, has suggested 2 different insurance plans specifically for COVID that all insurance companies have to offer. It's called the Corona Rakshak and the Corona Kavach plans. The beauty about these plans is that you can choose any of them and they have standardized terms, which means you go to any insurance company, they'll have the same terms and it is standardized. The only thing that will change is the actual premium from insurer to insurer. So let's start with the Corona Kavach. This is an indemnity plan, which basically means if you incur any COVID-related expense, you can get reimbursed for the exact amount from the insurance company. So if you spend 1 lakh rupees on a COVID-related expense, it could be hospitals, etc., you will get that back from the insurance company. That's called an indemnity plan. It's for people between 18 and 65 years of age. The minimum sum assured is 50,000 rupees. And it goes all the way up to 5 lakh rupees. And the interval between 50,000 and 5 lakhs is of 50,000 rupees between. The first thing that Corona Kavach covers is hospitalization. This means that you should be hospitalized for at least 24 hours and all the expenses at the hospital will be covered. Not only that, even other things like PPE kits, gloves, masks are also covered after you're hospitalized. This is something that most insurances don't cover, but the Corona Kavach actually covers. The second thing Corona Kavach covers is home care. As we all know, we keep hearing that there are no beds in hospitals anymore, and this is becoming a big problem. The Corona Kavach solves this by allowing you to claim any expenses if you are taking home care once it's prescribed by the doctor. This could be oxygen cylinders, it could be medicines, etc. Even if you're at home, you can still do the claim. All you need is a prescription from the doctor saying that you can recover from home. India has a rich history unlike our Western counterparts, and apart from normal allopathic medicines, we also have Ayush, which is homeopathy, naturopathy, etc., even yoga. Corona Kavach will cover all of your Ayush related expenses if you are at an Ayush hospital. Another really good thing I thought about the insurance policy is pre-hospitalization expenses. So 15 days before you actually got hospitalized, if you ran any tests, etc., those are also reimbursable via the insurer. The post-hospitalization expenses can be claimed for up to 30 days after your discharge from the hospital. Apart from this, if you have any comorbidity like blood sugar levels or something like BP, and it becomes worse due to COVID, then those expenses are also covered in Corona Kavach. So tomorrow, if you test positive, you can simply buy the Corona Kavach and get covered. Completely wrong.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
There is something called a waiting period, which means after you purchase the insurance, you have to wait for 15 days. And in those 15 days, if you get COVID, you will not be covered. So how do you claim expenses? The claim expenses, the process is exactly like any normal health insurance. You simply inform them, and whatever you've incurred, the expenses that you've incurred, that is reimbursed, provided it's below what they promised in the insurance coverage. Another thing you have to make sure is that the insurance company you're working with should have a wide range of hospitals. An even more important thing is to actually go to their website and see their hospital network to see which hospital is the closest to you. Because in case of an emergency, you need to know what hospital to go to where your insurance agent is already empaneled. So how do you actually buy a policy? It's very simple. I think you should use a policy aggregator. There are a lot of them online where you can compare different policies and see what they're offering. But I always feel that you should go and buy the policy from the insurance original website. So find their website and actually contact them directly and buy it. This way you'll be able to speak to them directly, understand what the policy is, and make an informed decision. The Corona Kavach is a single premium policy. So for say a 30-year-old looking for a 5 lakh cover, it generally costs about 2,500 rupees plus GST. So find something in that range because that's what the average premiums are. The second kind of policy is the Corona Rakshak. Now, the Corona Rakshak is a defined benefit plan, which means there is a defined amount that you are insured for. And once you claim for it after hospitalization, you get that entire amount lump sum. This is called a bullet payout. The minimum hospitalization for Corona Rakshak is 72 hours versus 24 hours for Corona Kavach. The sum assured ranges from 50,000 to 2.5 lakhs versus 5 lakhs maximum for the other policy. And this policy is only available for individuals, whereas the other policy is available for individuals as well as families. This policy also doesn't offer a daily cash expense. The Corona Kavach, which we've already talked about, offers that. So basically, if you paid an extra, say 300 or a few hundred rupees above the normal premium, this is an add-on, you will get 0.5% as a daily expense for 15 days while hospitalized. So let's suppose your sum assured was 5 lakh rupees. 0.5% is about 2,500. So 2,500 rupees as a daily cash expense will be paid out to you for 15 days. So now that we've covered what is covered on these two policies, let's understand what is not covered. So if you have any diagnostic tests that are not related to Corona, that is obviously not reimbursable. You cannot claim for that. That is your expense. If you take some dietary supplements like vitamin C, zinc, or multivitamins, those will not be covered. If you're advised home quarantine and आपको कोई personal nurse या compounder रखते हैं, then just for the sake of your comfort, that will not be covered. And if you take any unproven treatments like tantrics or other things, obviously those will not be covered.
हमने तो अभी पूरी खीर सब चढ़ाए, अभी ये हमने चढ़ाए, खीर चढ़ाए, कोरोना शांत हो, कोरोना शांत हो। मेरा तो इतना लाइफ खराब हो गया है, इतना लाइफ खराब हो गया।
And any testing or treatments taken at an unauthorized center will not be eligible for any claim settlement. Now, due to the rising cases of COVID during this second wave, one problem is that most insurers are actually not providing either of these plans. The Corona Kavach you can still find on National Insurance, Max Bupa, and a few others, but even those are pretty scarce. So if you get these insurance anywhere, you should probably get it because they're just not available. And I hope the insurance regulator takes some action against the insurance companies for not providing it when the nation actually needs these policies. So if you find them, you should take it. But there is an alternative. You can look for other health insurance plans which have certain features. इसमें थोड़ी मेहनत लगेगी, but if you can't find the two insurance policies we discussed today, then an alternative should look something like this. One example is the Max Bupa Reassure plan, but any other plan will also do. Just make sure it has these few points. Some of the features you should look for is that there should be no room caps on normal rooms as well as ICU. There should be some coverage if you are doing home care, because this is likely to happen because hospital beds are just not there right now in the nation. And lastly, consumables such as PPE kits, gloves, etc. become very expensive if you're hospitalized, especially in an ICU. Some insurances completely don't have this. So even if there's a limit of 3,000 per day or 5,000 per day, that's also fine as long as they cover consumables like PPE kits, etc. So make sure that's also included. There has to be pre-hospitalization expenses covered and post-hospitalization expenses covered. For pre, it should be a minimum of 15 days, and for post, it should be a minimum of 30 days. There's some insurances which give a little more than that. That's great. The policy should have a waiting period of not more than 15 days because that is just perfect. Anything above 15 days is just too much, and you should look for another policy. Any hospitalization above 48 hours is just not needed. So 48 hours of hospitalization is when you should be eligible to get your health insurance. Okay, that was a lot of information. What do you do next? There are only two possible scenarios. One, if you don't have any insurance, just go and buy Corona Kavach. Case closed. Second, if you already have insurance but it's not enough, you can go and buy again a little more insurance with the Corona Kavach, and you can claim these policies separately. So if you're not adequately covered, you can still buy the Corona Kavach to measure the difference in case you require more than what your existing health insurance is already covering. I hope this video helped you and you learned something new. In the description below, we've attached a PDF cheat sheet, which basically is a quick way for you to refer in case you need any of this information. Share it with your friends and family. If you liked this video we've made, please support us by liking it and subscribing it and commenting below so we get encouraged and push out more videos every single week. Thank you for watching. See you in a new video later on.